Hello everyone, it's Karen Schaefer, founder of APSD, the Association of Property Scene Designers. You can find us at apsdmembers.com. Great to have all of you here tonight on our call, which is our APSD Home Staging Business and Marketing webinar. I promise you this one is absolutely invaluable in building and growing your home staging business. It's also very, very content rich, so please get a pen and paper and be ready to take some notes because I'm going to give you some information and it'll go really, really fast. So scribble away because you'll definitely need these notes, I promise. But this is one of those things that I only really like to share with my members because it's so valuable to me. It takes a little bit of work, but not too much, and yet it always yields me jobs and new clients every single time. So again, completely invaluable. Let's go ahead and get started. As always, before we go, I want you to know you're welcome to type in any questions as we go. We'll be glad to get them answered. And in addition to that, at the end, I'll open it up for live Q&A, which is always a lot of fun. If you haven't been on one of these calls before, the live Q&A is one of those things that really I think you learn just as much by listening to other people's questions and by asking questions as you do from all of the content that I give as well. So once again, welcome. By the way, for those of you that are interested in the half-price home stager special, that does end right away. So tonight, technically, so if you go to apsdmembers.com/start today, you can still get in on our half-price special before it ends. And if you're at the level where you're ready to do a six-figure home staging business, we're offering our all-new, for the first time ever, online property scene designer training with one-on-one coaching directly with me, and you can find that at apsdmembers.com/PD, P like property, D like designer. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Tonight I want to talk about the home staging happy hour. Now, it just sounds good anyway, doesn't it? But just by a show of hands, how many of you think, you know what, that just sounds good, Karen, I want to do a home staging happy hour? Anybody? There you go, you got it. All right, so what I want to do is I want to tell you how you can actually invite agents to come to either a home you've staged or to a home that you're going to stage and get them to get excited about coming and wanting to work with you and recognize who you are. So everybody get ready to take some notes because I'm really going to go fast here just because I have so much information to give you. So are you ready? I'm going to give you all the technical things. For all of you who say, Karen, just give me the steps, well, here they are. Before the event, you need to be able to send out emails. I would suggest that you align with a real estate agent that maybe you've worked for in the past, that's a friend of yours or something of that nature, and they will be able to actually go through their inner office database and send these out on your behalf if in fact you don't have all their email addresses. So work with an agent in an office that you want to target. And I'll give you an example of that in a few minutes, but right now I just want you to write down the process. Send out emails 2 weeks prior, 2 the week prior, and 3 the week of the event. So if it's 2 weeks in advance, you might send it out on like a Monday and Thursday, and just 1 week in advance, you might send it out Monday, Wednesday, Friday, something of that nature. So you want to make sure you're hitting them a few times. Now you're not going to, have all kinds of crazy stuff listed there. They might just be short and sweet, just saying, we're starting to fill up, please RSVP, etc. Okay? You're going to distribute flyers, and what I mean by this is do drop-offs to the office itself. Now when I did this, I did drop-offs to 4 different offices. They were all owned by the same broker. And I worked in conjunction with one of the real estate agents there. So we walked in and to the front desk, and the lady was like, "Yeah, the front desk person said you can either put them in the box, or she'll put them in or he or she'll put them in the box for you." So that's what a drop-off was. So we distributed flyers 3 to 5 days before the event, and that was again just as a reminder because real estate agents get a lot of emails, so they may not have seen your emails, or they may not have seen the flyer. Hopefully they'll see one or the other. We're always going to drive them to what we call a landing page. That's where people land. So if you typed in something to Google and you said, I'm looking for home staging in Colorado, you would land on, a Home Staging Colorado page. So that's a landing page. If you look for home staging training, you would land on APSD. That's our landing page. So basically, it might give a quick introduction as to exactly what you're doing. So here, you could go to eBiz web pages or WordPress or something like that. Just have one page that gives the details of your open house or your happy hour event, excuse me. So when they get to that landing page, they know the details. Now, you can have them opt in if you want, if you're a little more technical, and that's okay, because that way you can capture leads. If you can't do it, it's okay. Don't stress about it. Remember, you already have the leads because you're the one distributing the emails and the flyers, okay? Once they confirm, so when they click on a button that says, yes, I want to attend, or RSVP, so they can RSVP on that landing page, they can do it via a phone number, they can do it via email, whatever you prefer. So if you go, Karen, I can't do a landing page, that's okay. I just gave you two other options, didn't I? Email or phone call. So if you do a landing page, once they're confirmed, a thank you page appears. It'll reiterate the date, the time, etc., location, and map. Now, if you're not doing a landing page, make sure you put those things on the back of the flyer. The date before the event, call or email anybody who has confirmed their attendance. Okay, so you're going to have to just pick up the phone and call them. You might want to shoot them an email. This is how you confirm people. You might say, well, Karen, they already confirmed. The truth is they're busy, you guys. They have a million things, so we have to stay on top of it. This is part of your job, part of filling up your agent happy hour. After the event, you're going to send out an email the day after, then what we call +2, +7, +14, and then every 30 days. And what that means is the day after the event, you're going to say, thank you so much for coming. 2 days after the event, I'm going to suggest that you do a drawing, and I'll talk about that in a minute. You're going to announce who the winner of the drawing was. And then 7 days after, just to tell people any progress that might have been made, maybe the home that you staged had so many showings, maybe you had an offer, something like that. Additional progress on the 14th, and then about every 30 days as a regular cycle of communication, so they know you are a real business person and you are in this game to help them win, and that's very, very important. At the event, close all the doors to the rooms. I don't like to give anyone access at all. The only place I want them to have access is in the overall room where I'm going to be giving a presentation. I'll show you what I do for that in just a moment. But the rest of the rooms, I don't want them to see. Number one, I don't want them roaming around while I'm doing a presentation. I want them to pay attention to me, okay? And that's okay. That's what they're supposed to be doing. They're all sitting there with their wine and their tapas. So what I usually do is I just go buy several big bottles of wine. I don't buy the very cheapest one. I just buy kind of a mid-level one, but you can usually get those big Magnum bottles, for, I don't know, they're not real expensive, so $8 or $9, Yellowtail or Woodbridge or something like that. I usually buy about 3 and 3 of those, red and white. Sometimes I, depending on the house, may only serve white, and I might serve beer as well. And then tapas, cheese and crackers, or something I can pop into the oven that's already been pre-made, something real, real simple. But I almost always do cheese and crackers. That's so easy to do. I might do some fresh fruit with it, some grapes and strawberries. People are completely happy with that. So it doesn't have to be real expensive. It doesn't have to be real time consuming. You can get everything you need, probably at a quick stop at Costco. As soon as everybody gets there, they register upon entry, so I always have a little desk set up, and one of my assistants or stager or family member doing registrations with everybody. So they have to register when they walk in the door, and then they drop a business card in a little bowl or a cup so you can do a drawing. Next, I give a quick welcome speech. Hello everybody, welcome. This is who I am. Thanks for coming. Here's how it's going to work today. Okay? Then I begin my PowerPoint. I discuss things that they need to be aware of in terms of staging vacant and distressed, in terms of staging luxury, in terms of staging occupied, depending on what I happen to be doing, right? I tell them what to showcase and what to downplay. This is all what we call the event choreography. So this is how the event actually works. And this is literally what we do before we do any kind of event, whether it's a live training event. Some of you have been to my stage events. Whether it's an agent happy hour, we always have an event choreography. So we know exactly what needs to happen, and everybody on the team has a little checklist. So what we're going to be doing is, as I said before, we have all the doors closed except for the main room where I'm doing a presentation. So that's, let's say, for the sake of argument, we're sitting in the living room, right? And we're all sitting there, and I might show before and after photos. So they look around, they're like, wow, this is so much nicer now. So technically, we've already staged that room because we want them to feel like that room looks good, it feels good. If there's an adjoining room, so again, for the sake of argument, let's say that's the kitchen, then I would say, okay, everybody, let's get up. Let's go into the kitchen. Everybody follows me into the kitchen, and I say, now we're going to stage this. And I literally, boom, 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 boom. Okay, you go grab the placemats. You get the plates. Okay, I need somebody to grab the napkins. What are you going to do with that big bowl of fruit over there? And in about 10 minutes, we stage that kitchen. Now, many of you are going to go, Karen, I could never stage a kitchen in 10 minutes. Well, it might be 15, but never more than that. I can promise you that. And I've already pre-staged it, everybody. So I already know exactly what I'm going to do. Then I took it all down so I can direct everybody and tell them exactly how to stage that. Now, the other concern you have is, aren't I showing them how to stage? No. Trust me, this goes very, very quickly. They're so engaged in the interaction of it all, plus they're all drinking, so I'm just joking, but they're so engaged in the interaction, they're just really, thinking about, okay, well, that's cool. I never thought about putting plates on the counter instead of on the table before, or whatever it is you're doing. So you're pointing out these quick little key points that you're doing. Now, we're going to go open the doors to the rest of the bedrooms, okay? And we're going to show them the after, because in the PowerPoint, they've already seen the before. They saw how, and I would recommend you show them the worst possible photos you can possibly show them. It should be awful. So make sure that they see the smelly cat side of this house, and then the da 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 da, the sun is rising, the birds are chirping, that side of the house. So you're going to open those doors, and then they'll all mingle. They'll walk around. They'll look at those rooms. They're very excited about this, and it really, really is quite effective as long as you leave those doors closed first. And I normally block the area off in addition to that. So I'll put up a little chair and a sign that says, please do not enter. So if I'm blocking off like a hallway that leads to bedrooms, or maybe a staircase that leads upstairs or downstairs or something of that nature, I literally block it off because I don't even want them going down the hallway and peeking in the doors. The next thing I do is I tell them how they can make an extra $1,000 by a certain date. And what that is that's an incentive offered by the listing agent for someone who brings them a buyer by a certain date. I also tell them how they can win other prizes by a certain date. So maybe somebody brought, a buyer and they won $1,000 extra in addition to their commission. Maybe somebody brought 3 buyers, but they didn't put an offer in, but it was more buyers or lookers than anybody else, so they will win a flip camera. So I always do like a few prizes. Usually your agent will pay for these, which is how it works because they're the ones making the extra commission. Then I do a drawing for an iPod, and I didn't say iPad, I just said iPod. You could do a digital camera, anything that's sort of current and trendy. Lately the Kindles are big again, so something like that. It doesn't have to be real expensive. I used to give away the $35 iPod shuffles, and everybody loved them, and people would come just for that. So then we do a drawing for the iPod. That gives me a reason to do an email blast later, okay? I pay for that. Then next I pitch, sometimes depending on what I'm doing, either a staging certification for all of you, you'll pitch your services, right? And that's what you want to tell them about. By the way, I'm available to do your houses. This is what we specialize in. Please feel free to come up and talk to me. I also have information you can take with you. So it doesn't have to be a huge pitch, but a fairly short and quick one. It should be enticing. Make sure you follow the bar method, before, after, and results, because agents are very result-oriented. So you want to tell them real quickly, my average days on market right now is 12. We have a special coming up. Here's what it is. And for the next 10 of you that hire me, here's what you get. So you want to be real short, very succinct, very, very clear, because remember, by now we've all had fun. We've had a cocktail. We're kind of getting restless, so we want to be real short, real succinct, and kind of sexy as far as what our offer is, okay? And then make sure they all fill out kind of a staging experience, what I call a staging experience and commitment form. And what that means is, how did you like the staging? What did you learn from it? Would you recommend it? Because I'm trying to get some testimonials, right? And commitment form is, yes, I commit to bringing at least 3 people to look at this property before November 15th. And what you're doing there is you're not really holding them to that, but you're trying to plant that seed back in their minds. Get them to commit to helping you get your home sold. Because then they'll keep using you over and over because they'll go, holy cow, how did she get that house sold so fast? Well, they don't realize that they helped you, right? Okay, I'm going really fast now. If you guys have questions, just type them in, okay? Marketing materials. You'll need your business cards there. You'll need a table topper about staging by your company name. If you do it by simple appeal, that's okay too, but just make sure you put my phone number on there as well. The other marketing materials you need are flyers about staging certifications. Obviously, that's for me. For you, it'll be about the services you offer. CDs of home stagings with upsells. If they want to be a stager themselves and you upsell them to our course, just make sure we know it because we'll send you a referral fee. You'll need a registration sheet. So when they come in, you'll want to get their name, their email address, their phone number, and maybe the office that they work at, or you don't really, because you're only inviting a couple of different offices, generally as long as you know which office they work at, you already know the address and everything. And you want to give them a notification to the open house event that we're going to be hosting for this house. So on this particular one, we say, hey, we're going to do this open house event for Halloween. We'll draw this many people, and then if they want to attend that or bring a buyer, then you know, just have them fill that information out. That's also really helpful because they get a chance to see a second level of something that you can do if in fact you want to do that. So out of what I'm telling you tonight, remember, you don't have to do everything. Just do the things that make sense for you. Who do you need to help you make this happen? You need an assistant there to film and take photos. Whenever you do something like this, make sure you video it and take snapshots. This is great marketing for you later. It gives you a reason to do an email blast. It gives you something to post on social media. And it gives you great content when you're doing a presentation for another office. So you can say, well, here's, you know, what this previous office experienced, and it gives you some great content for that. So always videotape it. You don't need a real fancy camera. You can just use a handheld camera. You can use your iPad. You can use your iPhone. You can, you know, use a Kodak ZI-8. You can use anything like that, and that will really be sufficient for what you're going to use it for. Also, if you met a few people and they were sort of key players, people that you think you're really going to work with, you might send them a photo of you and them together to say, hey, I thought you might like to have this, or, you know, a photo of them staging saying, hey, I thought you might like to keep this and, you know, put it in on your website so clients can see how invested you are in staging. You'll also need an attendant at the registration desk to sign people in or to have them drop a card in. Make sure they have a glass of wine. We usually hand out wine glasses upon registration. As a matter of fact, one of my drop-offs is a plastic wine glass with a flyer wrapped around it. Agents don't let anyone, let's see, again, we need somebody to either block people off or a way to block them off from going into the back rooms or the area that you don't want them to see. And then also when they exit, we give them a gift. Usually this is some kind of a CD about our services. It might just be some kind of a special offer that we have going, but it's attached to some kind of fun little gift that tied into the event itself. So it's important that it ties in. So we're not just going to be handing them blah, blah, this is so boring, here's a flyer. We're going to be handing them something that they want to put on their desk, that they want to keep, that tickles their funny bone, that jogs their memory. So give them something of use or something that piques their interest or jogs their memory when they leave. Now, generally that person is the same person as the registration person, but it's not necessarily the same person as the one doing the filming and the photos. Usually I need 2 different people for those things. So for those of you that are interested in becoming a certified APSD home stager, you might be asking yourselves, what's next? Well, it's a great question. It's time to join the APSD home staging family, the new generation of certified home stagers. How do you do it? Well, let's first talk about whether or not this program's for you. It's for you if you're new to home staging, or maybe you do have some experience in the home staging industry, but you're looking to take your business to the next level. Or you have a busy schedule and you need some flexibility on when and where you can learn and become certified. And finally, this training is for you if you might be an experienced home stager who needs to attract new clients and you're ready to generate multiple streams of income. So, as you can see, this works for brand new home stagers who've been in the industry for a little while, and seasoned home stagers, all of whom are ready to either grow or build a successful home staging business. And just to show you how confident I am in this APSD certified home stager training, I have a no-risk offer for you. This is a Session 1 free CD. It's the very first session in our Certified Home Stager training program, and we give you so much content, so much information, and so much value. This is actually worth over $200. When you order this free CD, which is again Session 1 of the Home Stager Certified Training Program, you'll receive the audio and video training of this particular session. You'll also receive the Digital Home Stager Session Number 1 workbook, an ebook that I've personally written called The 5 Steps to Success in the Home Staging Industry, an APSD Home Staging Pro Planner, and the APSD Private Members Only Networking Site, plus the It's Your Turn special promotion. So, how do you find out about each and every one of these wonderful products? Well, simply join the APSD family today by getting your free complimentary Session 1 CD. All you have to do is simply go to apsdmembers.com/home staging training. You're also welcome to just give us a call, and I'll be glad to personally speak with you. So I look forward to welcoming you into the APSD home staging family today.